This is just a really quick one. Yesterday, Warcom released some updates to different factions, so just kind of going to go through that. So first one, Unitorum Field Manual was updated. However, as far as I can see, the only changes made were to include the new units that they've kind of showcased, the Red Terror, etc. So they're now in there. And then base sizes for them. There is nothing else that is highlighted red, so because nothing's changed apparently, so that is kind of it for that one as a document. We then have the Tyrannid pack. They've added the Red Terror data sheet again, quite simple on that front. And then with Chaos Space Marines there was one update, and it was to mutilators don't go in rhinos. Not the update that obviously people were expecting with the changes potentially to defilers, because they are kind of crushing it right now and doing really well. So people kind of expected something for them, but that was not in there. We then have Astra Militarum. There was quite a few changes. They added the recon squad that was showcased. Commissar Yarrick got huge amount of changes. His points have stayed the same, but it's pretty big for him. So decisive command. It's not a massive change other than a word, which has a big impact. So the next order issued by this model can be issued to one eligible friendly unit within 12 if this first order issued by a unit from your army this command phase, and then affects multiple people. I'm guessing it's to stop people bringing in, say, Kassakin, doing all the movement phase, or Psions doing a new order, bump and bumping that out, I assume is why. And then the counter strategist, his Primarch level multi-million abilities have changed quite significantly. So the distance has dropped from 12 to 9, and you can select one unit still that has not made a normal move or been targeted with the Fire Overwatch stratagem this phase. So it can't double move or anything like that. It can't shoot and shoot again. Then shoot at that. So the D6 reactive stays the same. The shoot back basically becomes an Overwatch. You cannot improve it, you cannot change it, and it only ever hits on a 6, which is obviously a huge nerf from it just being a free shooting activation. And then the kind of pseudo Spectacular Spite challenge met becomes a surge move, so it's much easier for an opponent to kind of gauge where they're going to end up, because it is only D6, so you can kind of be 7 away rather than having to get within range and triggering it. So significantly different. Commissar also, Graves got the character keyword. He lost command squad, and then his ability changed to once per turn. You can unbattle shock a unit, and for some reason the heavy las cannon on the hippogriff became a las cannon. Don't think it makes any differences, but massively reined in the perceived power level of Yarrick. So huge change there. The other big change was to armoured spear tip, which a few people had been running, testing, playing, and it was a bit nuts, especially the kind of transports and the Storm Raven being able to move very far and then kind of create a really potent turn 1 alpha strike. The main thing they've changed now is that it doesn't include units with fly. I think they kind of intended for the Storm Raven not to be included, didn't think about hover. Hindsight, changed it. So it's quite a big change. And also you cannot do a counts as normal move, come in from reserve, disembark, and then do that movement as well. So that's again quite a big change there. It slightly limits obviously the aggressiveness that you can do, because the Storm Raven is significantly quicker with a 20-inch move than any other Space Marine unit in the game. Still can do quite a lot of it with Land Raiders and Repulsors, but not quite as quick. And then Storm Ravens also don't have the heavy transport keyword because they have fly. They reduced the Scout 9 ability down to Scout 6 because, again, Land Raider Scouting 9 was a bit mental. So that's been kind of reined in. And then they've kind of taken the strat of Machine Wrath down a peg quite significantly. You now have to Deadly Demise. So unless you roll a 6, you cannot use the stratagem. It basically has become the same as Kareen for Orcs in that sense. You basically, if you roll a 6, you trigger the stratagem. Then your unit can make a normal or fallback move before its Deadly Demise ability is resolved, and before any units perform an emergency disembark. So on a 6 you can still kind of get out and do it, but obviously significantly less potent than it was. So yeah, that's just a really quick update based on what was kind of showcased yesterday by Warhammer Community on the downloads page. Not a huge amount of changes, but pretty impactful for Guard and Space Marines, and a lot of the builds that people I think were kind of considering using. So it's quite interesting that they've done that and then not done anything for Defilers, because obviously they've been doing quite well across all of the different factions. So it'll be, I guess, interesting to see if anything happens with them. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to do another one in a second about Tyranids that have been